Yep. So 2015 drive belt, 2020 drive belt, and 2023 drive belt. Just because this thing is so hard to replace, I put a new one on it every couple of years. So, yep, got the belt, got a fuel filter. So, still waiting on steering parts. Well, I guess it's time to put the steering assembly together. The only bad news I got was the steering shaft is no longer available. I'm going to get a refund for what I ordered. I did check it. Very minimal wear here, and the gear has maybe a millimeter of movement there. So we're good. The gears look good on it, so we're going to reuse that shaft. Most of my wear, you can see right here, that groove, and there's some wear over here. So yeah, new bushings. Apparently this arm was run, like I said, it used this plastic nylon bushing, and that wore out really quick, and you can see the result right there. So got a good brass bushing. I've got a new it's plastic, so this part has to go on first. But if you notice, one side is stepped, so it goes in here, and I do have the breakdown of where these clips go. So the first thing I need to do is put this on here, and that's a tight fit too. It's yeah. So now I got to put a little bolt down in the bottom of that. So let me go ahead and do that. So I wasn't sure if this took or not, but I noticed part 33 is a washer that goes, apparently this gear is removable. You can see how much play I've got. It's not a lot. Can't order this anymore, so I got what I got. So I went and got a couple washers. I got two sort of thick ones and then a thin one in between. And then I noticed this is a previous repair that I did. This is some flashing that I cut and wrapped around the shaft to make it fit tighter. So yeah, what we're going to do is put this part here back on. Very little play in it. So I'm going to put that screw back in there and just make sure it still turns on them washers. Okay, with the screw tightened up, it was really snug, but it still turned freely. So I went and I took it back off, put a little grease on there, and I think I can go ahead and put this on and feel pretty good about it. All right, parts installed, got a little grease on it, turns freely. There's no play in it. The only play I've got is right there. We're going to live with that for now. Okay, before I get too far here, I'm using this vise kind of hold things together. So over here on this side, you can see this little tick mark. That indicates my little gap in the spline thread. And then I located the little weld mark on the shaft. So that's lining up good, but as I was bringing this together, I noticed these washers, I believe, is going to interfere with that gear right there. So I'm going to end up taking it back apart and see if I can find some smaller washers to go in here. Yeah, it looks like the old gear rode a little bit higher, where the new gear is going to be like right on top of this plastic bushing. So yeah, I think I need to find some smaller washers there. All right, well, the search begins to find a washer that will not block these gear teeth. Yeah, this might take a while. Well, I'm not finding any exact matches, but I got some candidates that are narrow enough, but I'm going to have to drill the center out to fit the shaft. So what I did was I measured the bottom width of that gear. All these washers will fit in between there except for these copper ones. But I'm thinking the copper ones are going to be a lot easier to machine. So I guess what I'm going to try to do is, that's going to be my first candidate. I'll set it up in this vise and see if I can drill it out to where it'll fit on that shaft. I've got enough to try at least get 2 of them to fit on here. I'm assuming it keeps that from walking. So the book shows it has a washer there, but it's a special washer. All right, well, I'm gonna try drilling the center out of the copper washer first. Yeah, this is gonna take 2 hands, one to hold this vise and one to drop the drill. Let's see what happens. Well, it wasn't easy. So what I got is 2 copper washers and then a real thin metal washer, and we're clearing the gear now. So hopefully that'll work. And yeah, I'm gonna put this thing back together now and see what it does. Well, folks, there it is. I really wish I could have got this new part here, but it is what it is. It feels pretty tight. I do have that little bit of play right there, but like I said, it is what it is. I got everything's tight down in here now. So yeah, next step is to put it back in the tractor. Okay, so to follow up, got a nice tight brass bushing in. The arm is in the correct position. I have no side to side play. I just got a little bit. There's nothing I can do about that. So everything's tight. So tomorrow, for something to do, I'm going to be installing the steering shaft back in and then just building it back up to the dash tower. Probably be installing the new drive belt and just getting all this buttoned up. That's really going to go pretty quick because everything's ready to go. And then I'll be rolling this back out to the shed and then bringing the deck in, and we'll start working on it. Thanks for watching.